could be
A
close.
fight is about to break out.
Okay.
Amazing.
Who wears the most trendy shoes?
I mean, do you want to show the people your shoes
Yeah, I mean,
now?
my current shoes are not the most trendy, but
Let's see yours, Abby.
I mean, mine are very... They've got some
Definitely the
pop
winner.
on. Thank
Let's
you.
give that one to Abby. Shall we have a little catch up then about what the last year's been like for you? Because you guys have had loads on. Sorry if you can hear Phoebe. She is currently sticking her zebra head into her butter on her bread and wiping it all over our table.
Of course.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
what you do with that.
So we'll just carry on. So yeah, you guys have had a crazy last year. I mean, everyone has had a bit of a strange one, but for you guys, you've had loads of things on. Can you fill us in a bit on any blessings, challenges, life events that have taken place?
sure. I mean, challenges, I think, were very much like everyone else's, I guess. Start of the year, we got engaged. We got engaged in February.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like looking like this year's going to be totally mad anyway. Then all kind of started, and we didn't see each other for 3 months.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like 3 months. So crammed in as much Xbox time as possible in those 3 months. I mean, the year was challenging. Abby was on furlough for quite a lot of the year.
Yeah, so I started a new job in February and then I was immediately put on furlough for about 6 months. But in a way, it was a blessing actually that I'd started when I did, because if I'd started a week later, I wouldn't have been eligible for furlough. So
Wow.
that was really lucky and kind of fortunate that I started then.
Yeah.
So that happened. I mean, I was very lucky that I worked all of last year. I guess my job, I've worked from home before for my job, so it was fairly transferable for me.
So Josh was doing like 13, 14-hour days at work, and I was just pottering around the garden, like growing some carrots.
Pinterest boards for the wedding.
Just planning. Like we had the whole wedding planned literally within about a month because I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And we obviously had to replan it about 4 times.
Yeah.
So that was quite good.
Yeah, so I guess the challenges mainly for us last year were obviously with big events and weddings and all that kind of being canned. We had to quite drastically readjust what we'd been planning. We actually ended up cramming our wedding together in the space of 3 days to beat one of the lockdowns and to kind of still be able to have some form of a wedding. We were also buying a house last year, which at the start of the year looked like a fairly straightforward-ish process.
Yeah. And
kind of like most things throughout last year got a little bit more tricky, but we, you know, through many blessings and through some super awesome people that we were paired with for our mortgage advisors and that kind of stuff, we managed to get a house. So we kind of still achieved most of the goals that we planned on doing last year. So
not how we envisioned doing them.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Well, so yeah.
It's like you guys just thought, right, what are the hardest things we could try and do this year?
Yeah.
Let's do them all.
Yeah, and I got a new job as well midway through August, so we really ticked all of those things off. But yeah, we're very fortunate. It's weird because this lockdown feels completely different to the last lockdown because we're both in a completely different environment, and I'm working this time and probably annoying Josh by being in the same office as him this time.
Yeah, so, that's a new thing.
So it feels very different, and I know for a lot of people it feels very kind of like monotonous and relentless. So we're quite lucky in that we've got that sort of difference. But I mean, it's still challenging, but it's like we know other people have it quite hard as well. So
yeah.
No, that's cool. As you know, as someone who's watched you guys go through everything you did last year, you guys handled it so amazingly. we said a number of times, like, we just can't believe how level-headed you were being about it, how you kept your faith strong, how you just like, yeah, okay, that's another knock, but we'll just make another plan, off we go again. And you guys did an awesome job last year, so big well done.
And how beautiful did Abby look in that wedding dress?
Oh yeah, way out of my league. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry Josh, but you are right there.
Yeah, that's right. Not a problem.
And I get to
George,
wear it- I get
George
to wear it
understands. You've got to marry up,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's play Mr. and Mrs. Have you got your little sticks or something ready?
We've got these here paper signs.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Right, do you want to go first?
Okay, so who is the most grumpy in the morning?
Probably, yeah.
Abby.
That's a
come on.
match.
Okay, next one. Who's the better cook? It's another
Another match.
agreement.
It's all right. I know my strengths.
Hopefully we'll come on to those.
Okay, who would be the first to apologise after an argument?
Oh,
Oh,
I'll Google home.
our Google Home is just talking away in the background. So I'll just go turn her off.
Yeah, it wants to
Yeah.
answer the question.
She knows the answer.
Yeah, she's listening.
She is. She's not anymore. It's okay.
Okay. Who is the most competitive?
100%.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay.
Josh gets annoyed at me because I'm not competitive.
Yeah.
It frustrates him.
He's a Constantine, the most competitive we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who is the most romantic?
Oh. I'm gonna see.
Josh.
It's a pair.
Abby, what's the most romantic thing Josh has ever done for you?
Once when we first started dating, he turned his whole bedroom into like a blanket fort tent with fairy lights and stuff. I'd been away with one of my friends for about 3 weeks, so when I came back, we hadn't seen each other for a while. He put like fairy lights everywhere, and he got a bubble machine from church because I love bubbles. They make me so happy. So he got like this bubble machine going, so everything was full of bubbles and fairy lights, and it was really nice.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
That is amazing. Yeah, Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've come off well
Love
there.
that.
That's good.
Oh, okay. Who is the most likely to get lost? Abby. Oh. Okay.
Where's the worst place you've got lost, Abby?
I just get lost. I just can't tell where things are supposed to be. So in the car, repeatedly, if I have to get to Boscombe, I will not know how to get there. And I just drive and I hope I see a sign that I recognize. I'm just not very good at geography in general.
Sense of direction is
Yeah,
not.
but I'm really good at, if I've seen a road or I've driven down a route, I can remember what it looks like and which road I'm meant to take based on when I'm there, but really bad otherwise.
That's funny. I'm with you on that one. Okay, who buys the best gifts? Abby.
You guys are on it. Okay, last one. This could be, I don't know. This could be close.
A fight is about to break out.
Okay.
Amazing.
Who wears the most trendy shoes?
I mean, do you want to show the people your shoes
Yeah, I mean,
now?
my current shoes are not the most trendy, but
Let's see yours, Abby.
I mean, mine are very... they've got some
Definitely the
pop-up
winner.
on.
Let's
Thank you.
give that one to Abby. Can you just fill everybody in on some of the things you're involved in, how long you've been at BCC, and some of the ways that you serve?
sure.
Do you want to?
You can go
I
first.
can go first.
Yeah, do you want me to tell?
Yeah, thanks. So I first got involved with BCC when I was about 9 or 10, I think. I started coming to the youth group. But I was at a different church for quite a while until I was about 16, and then I moved across from my old church to my new church, Traitor. But it's fine. And then I've kind of been involved ever since then, really. I've done quite a lot of different roles, and I've been in quite a lot of different teams since I started, because I'm not very good at saying no to people. I just like to help. But at the
Very
moment,
willing servant.
yes, it's very servant-hearted. Yeah. But at the minute, I help with the children's church. I help on their tech team. I help do some of the social media stuff that goes on Facebook and Instagram for BCC. And I am part of the Connect team, although we haven't been in the building for a long time. So not really connecting anyone. But yeah, when we get back, I will be standing by my little banner with my little tablet ready to connect people. So that's what I do.
Amazing. How about you, Josh?
Well, pastor's child. So I've been in the church since not quite birth. Mum and dad's were in London first, so I think probably since I was 3 or 4, so 20-ish years. Again, a bit like Abby, I've done a bunch of different bits over the years, really, including kids and youth. Done both of those with George at some point, I'd imagine. And currently I run the worship team with the help of Tim, our teaching pastor. Tim kind of does the more pastoral side of it, and I run any team admin, any kind of tech bits and bobs that need sorting out, planning of kind of set lists and all that kind of thing. I also, for my day job, I'm a graphic designer, so I help the church with graphic design requests here and there when they're needed. And I think that's it currently. Yeah.
Amazing. So many things. Okay.
Oh, good.
Cool. That
You
was a
guys-
good one.
You guys smashed that. Very good.
Super. All right. Could you guys share, considering you've been in the church so long, maybe a highlight or a favourite memory over the years or a funny story?
Because it's 100 years this year, isn't it?
It is.
It's
100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? I've got lots of stories.
You've got 100. Do you want to list them all?
One per year.
I probably could do at least 20, I would reckon, but we don't have time for that.
I have a really funny story that I was thinking about the other day, and now I cannot remember.
Shall I start and try and jog your memory? I can start with some funny ones. I mean, as I mentioned, me and George have been on the same team numerous amount of times, and this jogged my memory the other day with the snow, which, if you're watching from outside Bournemouth, we didn't get any snow. But a while back, we had quite a lot of snow. And me and George thought it'd be a great idea to be super helpful youth leaders by cleaning the church driveway at the time, which was covered in ice. And we thought it'd be a clever idea to clean it using water, which obviously just froze back over. So, I mean, that was quite amusing now. Back then, we were deadly serious. We thought that was the key.
But don't forget, though, that we first tried putting you on a skateboard holding a tray.
Yes.
I pushed you along
like a snowplow.
Yeah, we were scooping it, and then we poured boiling water on it afterwards so that no one could see the ice. So it was invisible, so it was actually more dangerous.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, gosh.
I think I've got quite a few, but most of my funny stories involve like Friday night youth or Thursday night children's club, because that tends to be,
give us one of those.
We get the most like freedom to trouble. But probably I was helping Ellie on Thursday night. We were doing tie-dye, and I remember we were upstairs and we were like, oh, this is great, we'll make sure we label all of the different tie-dye bags, because your mum had come to us and been like, make sure that everyone knows who their stuff is, like make sure you label it.
Classic Sarah.
Classic. Yeah, organised. We were not organised, she was organised, so it was fine. Just keep things going. And we wrote everyone's name on a piece of paper, and then we put it in the bag that their tie-dye went into while it was wet, so it just dissolved. And so the next week we came back and we were like, oh my goodness, Ellie was panicking, I was just laughing, I had no idea what to do. And so we just decided we were just going to hand them out. We were just going to pretend like we had the labels. And I remember this one girl, she came and she got the last t-shirt, and we gave it to her, and she asked us if we were sure it was definitely her t-shirt. And we both looked at each other and were like, yeah, it's definitely yours. It's got your label on it. And she was like, wow, tie-dye is amazing. I didn't put any green on mine. We were like, oh, wow, great. Off you go.
Great youth leader.
Yeah, it was great. I should have told her it was a miracle, but we didn't think of that.
Jesus does amazing things.
Yeah,
he does.
That was funny.
Brilliant. You look like you've got another one brewing, Josh.
I mean, I've got lots. we should probably go for a non-funny one, something nice that's
Come
happened.
on, something spiritual.
Something spiritual, I mean, I think one of the more awesome things that's happened whilst I kind of remember was the Life Centre coming into fruition. I mean, as a pastor's kid, I was obviously in a very lucky position that I got to see inside the Life Centre pretty early, when it was the Gala Bingo Hall, which was so strange because it was literally like they'd just putting everything down and gone. But just the amount of blessings as a church that we were given at the time to be able to get into that building. I mean, we never would have been able to do it without all the awesome things that God put in place to make that happen for us, and all the different funds and buildings and things that people gave us was just awesome. So I think that's super cool. I mean, I remember at the time being in the youth and we were allowed to write down a list of stuff that we wanted in the new youth room, because we'd never had a youth room before, or not for a little while, because the youth had kind of outgrown Calvin Road, which was the building we owned, and therefore was being held at a school. So we wrote down these big lists of stuff, and they were like kitchens and games consoles, and pretty sure most of us said that we wanted a big slide from like the top of the Life Centre down to the bottom. Still waiting for that to happen. But yeah, I think just being able to watch that journey of kind of going from different buildings that we hired and different small buildings into a building that we could call our own and do some really awesome stuff in, to support the community. I think that's been super cool.
What has God taught you in the last year?
Yeah, go for it. I think for us, probably the biggest thing has just been to trust in Him, which sounds like such a Bible school answer. But at the start of the year, we had massive plans of all the kind of awesome stuff that we wanted to happen, and for a lot of that, for a lot of people, all of that kind of went out the window, but all of that awesome stuff still happened, and I think it was just for a testament to trusting God's plan. It doesn't always necessarily look kind of how you expected or kind of how you envisioned it going, but like that plan is still there. And I think the main thing just that God is quite surprising in the way that He does awesome stuff sometimes. So I think for us, just remembering to trust in God in those kind of tough moments is probably the biggest thing that we kind of.
Yeah, I think trusting in God, and also I think a big part of that we've learned this year is almost trusting God through other people as well. So we're both very kind of not independent, but we don't like to owe people. We don't like to take things from people. Basically, we like to give people things, but we just both like to kind of work hard and take what we earn almost. So but obviously this past year, a lot of the things that we needed to do, like put a wedding together in 3 days, we couldn't do it by ourselves. And I think a lot of what God's taught us actually is that His help doesn't always come through us. A lot of the time it comes through other people, and kind of learning to accept that and to not feel guilty for accepting it or anything like that. And to kind of let other people help us as well.
That's such a good one.
Yeah.
Tricky lesson.
Very tricky lesson. I'm a very organized person. I color coordinated spreadsheets for every aspect of our life, and about 12 million notebooks. So having to learn to trust someone else is really difficult.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I think we'll end up there. You guys are absolute champions. It's been really cool to connect with you on here. And I'm sure people watching will really appreciate hearing what's happened with you guys over the last year and how you're doing, and seeing a little bit of your lovely house and stuff. So just a big thank you for this evening. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
For having us.
Thanks so much. And we'll see you on a Sunday morning soon on our TV.
Yeah.
You'll see definitely Josh.
Yeah, and Abby will be behind the scenes sharing it all on social media.